Let's get to this, shall we? So, interesting dynamic here. Walsh didn't say anything. So, the dollar drops a little bit and yields go up. That's weird. NASDAQ falls, NQ falls, chips fall, but they rotate up into software and into the MAG 7, some of the MAG 7, which keeps the SPY from falling apart. So there's this balancing act. You guys understand? There's this balancing act going on. And admitted by the analysts that the semiconductor market has driven the AI market, which has kept the entire market up. So when the semis die, investors are not going to want to see their portfolios drop to zero. So what do? They rotate and they hedge. So if they rotate and they hedge, then we have to do the same. So we hedged and we put some VIX on already. We rotated and we did a little ABT rotation, but maybe we need to look a little further. So what you want to do, I mean, if we look at XLV, and I really like XLV, but my issue with XLV, as I've told you, is that it's too heavy with United Healthcare. So, we want to look at stocks, like this. So I really like this. We can look at stocks like Merck as well. I know Michael probably jumped on this already. Nice little pullback. Let me see where the 21 is. I'm going to add the 21 period simple as if, it's right around here. It's right around at the, I just want to see something. 21's always blue. Thicken it up a little. Should be right on that line. Yeah, it's right above it. Yeah. You see how the exponential is a little wilder? See how this is the exponential right here? And this is the broad moving average. It's a little flatter. So 121.25 would be a great pullback level for Merck. And let's see where ABT is. They're pretty much right on line with each other. $90 or so is the pullback level for ABT. So you could get a little now. So my thinking is if we're rotating here, this is certainly somewhere where I want to have some exposure. And it makes sense actually to start looking at August. Why not? Put a little bit of August action in there. You could wait until you pulled back and held here. Because if it does this, and then it breaks down, then it's going to retest here. And if it does that, any trade you put on here is dead. So one thing to do is to wait for the pullback. The other thing that you could do is you could put a little bit of a trade on now. And then if it does pull back and hold, you add and double down at a lower price for that move into August. That sort of is the other Michael's specialty. So, Michael, I know you like Merck. ABT has some decent volume, 5 million shares traded already today. I imagine Merck will be double. Oh, look at that. Merck is half the volume. That's really surprising. All right, so I like ABT. We'll price some of that out in a few minutes, okay? So, a little bit of healthcare. Don't want to do more than one healthcare company. Listen up, okay? If you like rotation into a sector, pick a lane. If the sector isn't too heavily weighted with a stock that's already made its move, you can go with the ETF. If not, go with an individual stock, but don't go with two. You'll cancel it out. Doesn't make sense to put your money into two healthcare stocks. So let me make sure this is really clear. This is advanced shit right now. If you thought it was rotating into healthcare and you look at healthcare and go, okay, but what is the big boy, right? The first question that you always should ask once you look at a sector is who is the big boy in the sector, right? And in this case, yeah, it's UNH. So we look at UNH. So if I'm looking to trade XLV up, and I look at the big boy, if the big boy is down and is trying to work its way up, then I like the sector. because the big boy will lift the boat up and there's room to go. So I go with the sector. But if the big boy has already had its move and the rest of the sector is starting to play catch up, then I will pick the best of these. Is this clear? You will not, I swear to God, you will not hear this anywhere. You will hear, because there's so much commission paid on these sector ETFs, that all the advertising and all the YouTube videos, oh, buy the ETF, buy the ETF. Oh, it's so much easier. It's just a basket of stocks. And other trading gurus tell you the same thing. And you look at their alerts and it's like, buy XLP, buy XLV, buy XLRE. And there's no consideration whatsoever as to what's in it and what those stocks and symbols have done. So don't get caught up in the ETF thing. The same thing goes for energy. Well, I want to trade energy. Okay, the first thing I do is I look at XLE. What a great ETF for energy. But there's a couple of big boys in there. And if I look at ExxonMobil, which is probably the biggest holding in XLE, and ExxonMobil has already, shot through the roof, then I'm not going to go with XLE. I'm going to try to pick another stock that needs to play catch up. So Chevron is super big here. COP is big. And so usually my go-to is Valero. So I love Valero. I absolutely love it. I own the stock. I love trading Valero. It's only 4% or so of the assets of XLE. Only about 4%. Chevron is about 16%. ExxonMobil's like 25%. You got a couple other big, like ConocoPhillips is like probably 10%. That's 35, 45, 55. That's half of it right there. Marathon is another good one. MPC is another good one. Small, like 4%, 5%. These are like 4 or 5%. So I go with these. If ExxonMobil, we'll look at that just so you can see what I mean. Does everybody understand the point that I'm making? Yes, Michael, that is it. If the big boy in the sector has already started the move or made the move, the rest most likely will play catch up. So rather than play the ETF or the big boy, go with the strongest or the best of the rest. Exactly. We talked about this 5-6 years ago. This was part of the training that we did. There's so much to cover. So I like Merck, right? We looked at Merck, but Merck only had around 2 million shares trading. Had already started to make a move. ABT, and look, you could be wrong and it could drop, but at least you have a good shot.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video from Trade With Me Now. Make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel so you make sure that you catch our next video right when it's released. Also, if you have a question or comment, please leave that in the comment section below. And of course, if you want to learn more about Trade With Me Now or join our community of profitable traders, go to tradewithmenow.com. There's also a link in the description below.